Good morning. Please stand and join us in singing our gathering song, We Gather Here. One, two, one, two, three, four. We gather here. We gather here. To create the world we know is meant to be. We gather here to come together, to celebrate the love and joy of unity. We gather here for deep connection with fellow travelers who claim divinity. We gather here to count our blessings, to celebrate the love and joy of unity. We gather here. We gather here. To create the world we know is meant to be. We gather here to come together, to celebrate the love and joy of unity. To celebrate the love and joy of unity.
Who is that? That had to be, was that you, Rick? Yeehaw. Yeehaw. Good morning and welcome to our Sunday morning celebration service. We are glad you are here. Welcome to all who are on YouTube and Facebook. And let's see who they are. Generally speaking, Lana is in the building, Jess and Phil are in the building, and then we have Pam and Tony and Irma, Sylvie and Brenda, who are generally watching on YouTube. Good morning to you, and good morning to all who are on YouTube who I don't know who you are. We're glad you're here. Also, let's see who's on Facebook this morning. We have Barb and Linda and Rogelio, and we have, Jen is bilocating, as always, and whoever else I can't see who is on Facebook now or in the future, welcome. We're glad you are here. As always, we have with us the Joyful Noise Band and Choir, and today our special music features Mike Taylor. So, welcome. And welcome to those who might be in our sanctuary and online for the first time. If you are in the room and you feel comfortable in doing so and would like to receive a welcome packet, Rose or Linda will be happy to hand you a welcome packet if you raise your hand. Anybody here for the first time who would like a welcome packet? Okay. Anybody else? All right. So, in that welcome packet, there's a form. If you fill it out and take it back to Krista at the welcome podium today, she will be happy to give you a gift. On that form, you can check off if you'd like to be on our mailing list. There is also a prayer intention form in there. If you'd like to put your prayer in our prayer box, you can do that in the lobby. And it's a beautiful wooden prayer box made by our own Ray Rice. And the prayer chaplains go in there and retrieve prayer requests. What else is in there? Other stuff. Oh, information about Unity, the larger Unity movement, and our Unity community. So the most important thing about all of this is that we are welcome, affirming, practical path of spirituality. Everyone is welcome here, no exceptions. So thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, whether you're here for the first time or have been coming for forever, or even just a little bit of forever. Thank you for being here. You honor us with your presence. And we have this is Potluck Sunday, so we have some things in the kitchen and some snacks and some goodies. So if you'd like to stay around and share some food with us, we'd be happy to see you and meet you out there. If you're online and would like a welcome packet, please email us at admin@unityofstewart.org, and we will be happy to send you a welcome packet. And if you're in the room and would like a welcome packet just for the fun of it, feel free to take one on the way out. They're on the table to your left as you exit the sanctuary. All right, let's move into announcements. Maybe? Growing groups are starting on February 12th. We have 5 groups available. 2 groups are already full. And what that looks like is you will sign up to go to a home of a congregant, and you will go to that same home every single week, except for the last week when we all gather here at church, but I get ahead of myself. So you will be going to one home, and then you will have rotating facilitators who will be sharing their thoughts on philosophies on joy, on co-creating, on exploring the mind-body connection, about forgiveness, and a tapping to release stress. So as I said, 2 groups are full. There are 3 groups available. So now's the time if you'd like to sign up, because if enough people don't sign up for one group, we'll try to consolidate, or one group might need to fall off. So if you want to be in a group, please make sure you sign up today. All right. Okay, so here's our Sunday video. Actually, we have 2 videos for you today. Second one's a surprise.
Did you hear the news? You're invited to Unity of Stewart's annual spring benefit. The Blossom Gala will be held on Saturday, April 12th, right here at Unity of Stewart, and we're blooming with excitement. Of course, to bloom and eventually blossom, one must first plant seeds. That's why this year's gala is not just a one-night event. In the weeks leading up to the gala, you're invited to be part of a growing group. What's a growing group, you ask? It's a small group of people from Unity of Stewart who get together on 6 consecutive Wednesdays to build community and explore different spiritual topics. We'll have a total of 5 different growing groups hosted in the homes of people from Unity. Chances are, there's a growing group not far from where you live. Each week, a different facilitator will come to your group meeting to share an interesting spiritual topic. You'll learn about joy, the mind-body connection, EFT, the teachings of Abraham Hicks, and the importance of forgiveness. Each session has been intentionally chosen and designed to help you expand and grow and put Unity teachings into practice in the world. Sounds good, right? So what next? First, save the date, Saturday, April 12th, to attend the Blossom Gala at Unity of Stewart. Next, check out the information about growing groups you received today. After the service, sign up to be part of a growing group. You'll see sign-up sheets out in the lobby. Board members will be available to answer your questions and assist. Attend your growing group meeting for 6 consecutive Wednesday nights. Watch yourself transform, grow, and bloom in new and exciting ways. When we grow and bloom as individuals, our community at Unity of Stewart blossoms.
All right, thank you, Lori, for that beautiful video. And along with that, we're going to be starting to sell tickets, I believe, next week. And so we just invite you to save the date and prepare. And there's lots of things that need to happen before we actually have our gathering. And the one thing I want to talk to you about today is to help set up the gala on Saturday morning, April 12th at 9 o'clock. There is a sign-up sheet out there if it is something that is on your heart to help us prepare for that. You can sign up there. Please print and make sure we can read your email address. And you'll be hearing, of course, a lot about this as we move up to our gala. All right, and here's the other surprise. So last year at our Dream Gala, our board member and incoming president, Dave Avidable, asked questions of some people about what unity means to them. And here is our first video. And this is our outgoing board president, Linda Hart.
What I love about Unity is, particularly this Unity, is the people. The people are amazing. I love coming here because of the lessons that I learned so much from, and also the music is amazing as well. I really have been involved with Unity. I'm trying to think of how many years, over 30, and here for over 20, and it is just the greatest place to be in the world, and I love dancing here. And I'm going to go do that now.
All right. Next week you'll see somebody else up there, Don. All right. Our annual meeting is coming up on February 23rd, and Don will be running again for a seat on the board. We'll be affirming Mary Claire to continue on the board, and we'll also be voting for Tom Taylor, who has been around here longer than God, I think. And he is also running to come back on the board. So if you are a voting member, please renew your membership. You may have seen Linda handing out renewal forms. Even if you became a member in the past year, you need to also renew your membership. So we invite you to do that. Everybody can come to the annual meeting, and only voting members can vote for whatever we're voting for. February 23rd, after service. And coming up on Friday, February 28th, is our Coffee House concert for February. So we invite you to that. Doors open at 6:30. Music is at 7. There are always some goodies in the kitchen, coffee and some goodies. And there is always friendship and laughter and great music. So come and join us on February 28th for that.
We're really excited because this is our first Coffee House concert since the Christmas one. And unfortunately, Jen can't be with us for this one, but everybody else you see on the stage will be, and so we're kind of calling this one Five Guys and a Small Fry.
Did you hear that? Five guys and a small fry.
And Dr. Rick.
And Dr. Rick. All right. All right. Five guys and a small fry. All right. We have board members on duty today. And Linda Hart, once again, our board president, is our boardie of the day. And if you have any questions about Unity of Stewart, you can feel free to ask her. And if she can't answer your question, she'll be happy to point you to somebody who can or find your answer. Thank you. Thank you, Linda, for serving. And all our board members, thank you for serving. And we have prayer chaplain on duty today. And our prayer chaplain on duty is Connie Cox. And Connie will be in the sanctuary after service, and you'll know her by her stole. And if you have anything that you'd like prayer support with, any joy, any challenge, anything at all, Connie will be honored to pray with you and to hold your prayer in the highest confidence. For those of you that are online, once again, I'm missing the other. Okay. For those of you online, if you would like to put a prayer in our prayer box, please email prayer@unityofstewart.org. Prayer@unityofstewart.org. That comes directly to me, and I will make sure your prayer gets in our prayer box. This gentleman is Darrell Davis. And I want to tell you about Darrell Davis. He is a musician that made it his life's work to befriend members of the Ku Klux Klan. Over the years, he's convinced dozens of Klansmen to leave the organization, not through anger or confrontation, but through love and understanding. He says this: when two enemies are talking, they're not fighting, they're talking. It's when the talking ceases that the ground becomes fertile for violence. Ignorance breeds fear. If you don't keep that fear in check, that fear will escalate to hatred. Keep the lines of communication open, he says. Kindly and respectfully ask thought-provoking questions. Over time, this will help break down barriers. Now, in this month of Black History, and with everything else that is happening in our country, Darrell's work is a powerful example of what it means to treat everyone with kindness and dignity. So please join me today in dedicating today's service to just that: the power of kindness, the power of respectful communication, and the power of dignity. Today, on the second day of Black History Month, we pause to reflect on the profound contributions, enduring spirit, and transformative power of the Black community throughout history. This is a time to honor the trailblazers, visionaries, and everyday heroes who have shaped our world with their courage, wisdom, and love. In the Unity tradition, we recognize a divine presence within all people. Black history is a testament to the indomitable spirit of the mystery we call God, expressing through individuals and communities, even in the face of adversity. From the arts to science, from civil rights to spiritual leadership, the Black community has been a beacon of hope, innovation, and faith. As we celebrate this month, let us commit to being allies and advocates for justice, equality, and unity. Let us listen, learn, and lift up the voices and stories that have too often been overlooked. In doing so, we affirm the truth of our interconnectedness and the power of love to heal and transform. And let's take a deep breath together and settle into the sacred space that we have co-created, this space of love and of unity, of equity and equality. And know that as we allow Spirit to work through us, we lift up the voices of those that are marginalized. And together, we help co-create a world that works for everyone. And so it is. Amen. And let's affirm our affirmation together. I celebrate the divine light in every soul. And once again, that deep breath as we anchor and claim this truth. Together, I celebrate the divine light in every soul. And so it is. Amen. And as we prepare for meditation, let's sing the prayer of St. Francis.
1, 2, 3.
And we breathe 3 deep breaths, if you please. If it feels comfortable to you, you may wish to close your eyes. Deep, conscious breaths as we drop our shoulders, releasing any tension the body is holding. And setting the intention to be here now, in this space, in this time, in the stillness of this present moment. As we begin to dive into this time of prayerful meditation, I invite you to allow the words you hear to become the words of your own mind and heart this morning. In this now moment, I see with spiritual eyes. If I rely on my physical eyes, I see limitations. I see contrast, conflict, and struggle. I see the surface of things, the way people look, the stories I've been taught to believe, the illusions of separation. But when I shift my vision inward, Godward, I recognize a deeper truth. And I see spirit in every person, every situation, and every moment. Spiritual sight invites me to move beyond judgment and fear. It calls me to move past appearances and see the divine light shining through all things. Spiritual sight reminds me that love is the essence of who we are. That beyond our human identities and experiences, we are one. As I align with this higher vision, my heart is soft. I am more patient, more compassionate, more willing to listen. Releasing any old patterns of assumption, I trust in the unfolding of life. Knowing that beneath all challenges lies an opportunity to expand in love. I seek truth beyond experiences. I seek truth beyond appearances. I open my heart to divine wisdom, allowing love to guide my every thought, word, and action. I allow love to guide my every thought, word, and action. In the quiet. And immersed in this sacred space that we have co-created, I invite us to bring into our awareness all of those who are on our prayer list at Unity of Stewart, and all of those that are in our minds and hearts, people, all beings, all situations, seeing each one lifted up in wisdom, in understanding, in love. And if you'd like to speak names out into this holy place, I invite us to do that now. And turning all into the care and keeping of oneness. I invite you to join me in praying this in the name and the nature, the light and the love of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. Let's sing.
This is a song by Buddy Guy, great blues player, called Skin Deep. One, two, one, two, three.
Been around a while, I know wrong from right. Learned a long time ago, things ain't always black and white. Just like you can judge a book by the cover, we all got to be careful how we treat one another. Skin deep, skin deep, underneath. We all are the same. Skin deep, skin deep, underneath. We all are the same. We all are the same. Man in Louisiana, you never called me by my name. You said, boy, do this, boy, do that, but I never once complained. I knew he had a good heart, but he just didn't understand that he needed to be treated just like any other man. Skin deep, skin deep, underneath. We all are the same. Skin deep, skin deep, underneath. We all are the same. We all are the same. Settled a little child down when he was old enough to know. Said out there in this big wide world, gonna meet all kinds of folks. Said son, it all comes down to just one simple rule, that you treat everybody just the way you want them to treat you. Yeah, yeah. Skin deep, skin deep, underneath. We all are the same. Skin deep, skin deep, underneath. We all are the same. We all are the same. Skin deep, skin deep, underneath. We all are the same. Skin deep, skin deep, underneath. We all are the same. We all are the same.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Joyful Noise. Thanks for the one-person standing ovation. Yes, indeed. Indeed. A few years ago, I was at a coffee shop waiting in line, and ahead of me was a black man who at first glance seemed very intimidating to me. He was tall, he was beefy, had lots of tattoos and lots of facial piercing. He just looked very intimidating to me, and my mind immediately started making assumptions about who this was and what this person was about. And then all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, a little girl comes running up, and she jumps, he lifts her up in his arms, and he whispers something in her ear, and she giggles. And in that moment, all of my assumptions just crumbled. Here was a dad. Here was a dad with his daughter. Here was a loving dad with a daughter. And I was reminded that appearances are absolutely not anything we should base our judgments on. That we base people, that I judge people based on surface level things, on what I see with my physical eyes, without knowing anything about them, without knowing anything about their story. And as Buddy Guy's song, sang by Mike, says, it's skin deep. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's skin deep. Underneath it, we're all the same. Our skin color, our appearance, our styles say nothing about who we are at the core, who we are in our own innate divinity. What if we, like Daryl Davis, could look beyond the surface and recognize the divine light in everyone? Here's a man who was committed to recognizing the divine light in Ku Klux Klan members and speaking to them as if they were human and had needs and desires and love within. Here's some wisdom from Jesus' teachings. In the Gospel of John, he says, do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment. We live in a world that seems to thrive on separation. We do continue to judge people based on race, gender, age, religion, and 100 other surface things. But what if we could see with spiritual eyes in our lives? What if we could raise our vision and see with spiritual eyes? Because we're taught to see differences first and commonalities second. But here's the thing. This separation is an illusion. It's a human construct. We've been taught it. It's been drummed into us. We are called, the truth is we are called to treat each other with love, respect, dignity, and understanding. Several years ago, a friend had a conversation with me about her activity, her volunteering in a homeless shelter. And what she said was she initially felt uncomfortable being around the people she was serving because they were so different than her, and she had these preconceived notions about why they were homeless and what their lives were like. But as she got to know them, their stories, their struggles, their dreams, she realized how wrong she was. And one man in particular, she says, stood out. She said he was a veteran, had fallen on hard times after serving his country. And she said he was kind, deeply spiritual, could express himself with grace and with ease. And she said, I went there thinking I was helping them. But it turned out they ended up teaching me so much about resilience and about humility and the power of the human spirit. Wayne Dyer says this about judgment. When you judge another, you do not define them, you define yourself. Think about that for a moment. When we judge someone else, we're really defining ourselves, not them. Mike also sang a line about judging a book by its cover. We all do that, and I mean quite literally. We judge, like if I'm in the bookstore, if I'm on my library online, and I'm looking for a book, and I say, I don't like that cover. And that cover doesn't speak to me. How often do we do that with people? How often do we do that with people? Now, just like we see a book with a plain, unappealing cover, we assume it's not worth reading. But what about if we opened that book and it had some wisdom that changed our lives forever? Or it gave us some gift that would allow us to walk with a little more gently on the planet with a little more grace and ease. We miss out when we judge books and people by their cover. Ernest Holmes, founder of religious science, said, there is a divine pattern for each life, and that pattern is perfect. When we judge others, we're not seeing their divine pattern. We're seeing only the surface. We are all, this is our unity teaching, we are all unique expressions of the same divine source. With no exceptions, we're all spirit, we're all love, every single person. And when we can see this truth in ourselves and in others, we begin to break down those walls of separation. Rumi says, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." And guess what? If that's true for me and that's true for you, it's true for everyone else. No exceptions. Every single one of us, no matter how we look, where we come from, or what we've done, is a perfect idea in divine mind. Our co-founder Charles Fillmore said that, and that's a radical truth, especially now with what is going on in our country. So let's apply this wisdom, this understanding to the current things that are going on in the U.S. We are called to recognize the divinity in all people, even those with whom we deeply disagree. I think I just saw somebody shaking their head like that's a no. I get it. I get that feels like a huge no with everything that's going on right now. We are challenged, however, to move beyond division and fear and resentment and see the spiritual truth beyond the chaos. No matter anyone's stance, they are still a perfect idea in divine mind. The behaviors, their beliefs, don't change that spiritual truth. No matter who you're holding in your mind right now, underneath it, they're all the same. Underneath it, we're the same. So, I'm sorry? What'd you say? I said way underneath. Yeah, sometimes it's way underneath. Sometimes it's way underneath, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Media and politics, politicians fuel division. They fuel it. But judgment and fear are distortions of the truth. And from our spiritual principles, and when we open our spiritual eyes, we can see beyond the human narratives. What we are called to do as people in truth, with a capital T, is to affirm that love, wisdom, and power are possible even now. Even now. Political corruption, injustice, inequality, inequity are real. But they are symptoms of a consciousness out of alignment with truth, out of alignment with spirit. And so change only happens when people when spiritual people, when individuals recognize their spiritual power and act from love rather than reactionary fear. Activism and engagement are incredibly important, but they're most effective when they're grounded in spiritual principles, in spiritual power, when we stand on that ground of who we are at depth. That we're divine beings made in the image and likeness of Christ consciousness. When we stand in that, we can take action from that space. When we're in our head and all we can think about is condemning and ranting and raving and ask me how I know. When we are just in that place, we cannot take clear, spiritually powerful action. We must be grounded in who and what we are. We don't excuse or support harmful actions. Instead, we hold a higher vision. We hold a higher vision grounded in spiritual power and take action from that. Our country may be in chaos. Our country is in chaos. Civil rights are being eroded, and this can evoke frustration, sadness, and even despair. How many of us want to go to bed and pull the covers over our head? Right? Right? But spiritual truth remains unchanged. We are divine beings, capable of wisdom, of love, of transformation. And we are called to remain spiritually grounded now more than ever. So the spiritual principles at play. Consciousness creates reality. I don't want to hear this, what I'm about to say. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to take responsibility for it. But collective consciousness is at play here. That consciousness that we may have, that we absolutely do have, of an us and a them, of winners and losers, of separation. That's something that we come by through our culture, through media, through everything that we see. This consciousness of that some people will have power over others. It's not new. Human history has gone through many cycles of oppression and liberation. This is not the first time our country has been right here. So what is emerging is the opportunity for a deeper awakening, for a deep dive into what our own spiritual truth is and what is ours to do. What is my role in the spiritual evolution of humanity? What is my role? What is your role? Everything that's happening today can be a catalyst for transformation. Transformation for how I show up, for how we show up in the world, and a transformation for our planet. God is still love. Spiritual power is right here, right now. The divine works through each one of us. Justice and freedom are spiritual realities. Make no mistake about it. When we are grounded in that, we can lift up our spiritual vision and see the truth. Another teaching from Jesus' teachings is that we are called to be in the world, but not of it. And what does that mean? We do not define ourselves by outer conditions. We don't let ourselves off the hook because of fear of what is happening in the outer. We are called to be in the world, but not of it, knowing that we are expressions of divine mind. That our true nature is eternal, it's abundant, it's whole, it's wise, it's loving. We are not bound by the limiting beliefs of fear and separation or of lack. We live from an inner spiritual authority rather than outer influences. Does not mean passivity. Let me say that again. Let me be clear about that. It doesn't mean we go, oh, la, la, la. This is going to be over, or this is an illusion, or whatever that is. We take practical action grounded in spiritual principle. I was in a group recently. We had a meeting last week, and which is it is now called, the group that I'm in is called the Coalition for Democracy. And in that group last week, we talked about in the circle, okay, everybody go around, there were about 23 people in the room, everybody go around and say who you are, and you can share where you are right now, emotionally and intellectually. And then after that, we made sure that, well, there was a little bit of ranting and raving, but we made sure after that we would go to solution. Instead of ranting and raving and staying in that anger and in the, what the heck is going on here, right? Come from that place of spiritual eyes. Yes, this is happening. I'm not going to rant and rave about it. I'm going to take practical action grounded in spiritual truth. Remember that fear feeds the very thing we resist. Anger feeds the very thing that we resist. So, participate in activities and activism that align with your values. One of the great ideas I heard last week was from a woman in the group who said, it could seem so overwhelming what is happening in the world, what is happening in our country, that pick one thing a day. Spend 5, 10, 15 minutes doing one thing a day, because there's all these things that we are being bombarded with, and it could be the chaos we get overwhelmed, right? So pick one thing that is important to you, and spend some time on that every single day. Pray, meditate, go within and look at what our own biases are. Where we need to see the world with spiritual eyes, instead of saying, well, if they did this, right? We are part of the collective consciousness. So the first and foremost thing we must do is go within and see what is blocking our divinity, what is blocking our divine wisdom. We start there. Mr. Rogers said, look around and be a helper. Whatever that looks like for you. Be a helper in the world, not just on the big issues, but be part of that collective, peaceful consciousness by looking around and seeing if help is needed somewhere, and then providing that help. It doesn't have to be in big ways, it could be in small ways as well. Donations, volunteering, simply standing in solidarity. This is what transforms the world. And hold a vision beyond what we're seeing now. Hold a vision. Nothing in the external world is permanent. Nothing. You, me, anything. The government, nothing is permanent. What we see today will shift. And as spiritual warriors, if I might, we are called to stand in that truth, to hold the vision of a just and awakened world, even when it appears far away. So visualize, if you will, leaders of integrity and wisdom rising, communities united in love and resilience, a world where every person is valued, is seen, is free. And know this, even when it doesn't seem like it is so, even when things seem bleak, Spirit is at work. What looks like destruction may be a paradigm shifting to make space for something greater. Truth is, no government, no political figure, no oppressive system can take away the sovereignty of our souls. We can remember that we are divine beings, unshaken by appearances. We can walk in faith, in justice, in love, and in freedom. And we can stand as a force for good in the world. That's what we are called to do. And then we become the antidote to injustice. By our very presence, by our very vibration, by the very radiance of our divine light, we become the antidote. So, your presence, your consciousness, your unwavering faith and love shift the world, which may not be immediately evident, but I'm here to tell you it absolutely makes a difference. Stand as a force of good in this world. Know that Spirit is right here, right now, doing this important work through you. And I claim this truth for each and every one of us. Namaste. We are moving into our celebration of abundance, otherwise known as love offering. And there are ways you can give to Unity of Stewart from wherever you are on the planet. So we want to say thank you on behalf of the board. thank you for your gifts, your donations, your RMDs, and it helps us continue to do this work out on the planet, in the world, and collectively, we help elevate the collective consciousness. So thank you for doing this work. Let's affirm our prosperity prayer and then our love offering blessing together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of Unity of Stewart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. Together, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love.
One,
Let's sing about it.
3, 4.
We all give our gratitude and give thanks for the multitude of blessings given every day that help us all along the way. We give thanks for a chance to give our gifts and for the lives we live, and all the mercies from above that fill our hearts with grace and love. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give
Raise your voice in song in our Joyful Noise Choir. We have openings and men in the room. Join, Mike, would you? Tuesday evenings, music practice is at 6 o'clock, and please sign up at the information table so that our code to music directors will know who you are and can send you information as it becomes available. I don't know if I said this before. There is a sign-up sheet out there talking about the gala. There's a sign-up sheet that if you'd like to help set up on Saturday, April 12th, beginning at 9, there's a sign-up sheet there. We're looking to have, and there's also a variety of other things that are going to be available for you to help as we gear up for our third annual gala. So thank you for that. We have kiddos out there, Ross? All right, let us stand as we welcome in the kiddos.
1, 2, 3.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light of God.
And please be seated. This is Cadence, please. Oh, let me just say something about why Jen's not here. For those of you who may have seen something on Facebook, Jen Hart has been horribly hacked from her phone and her bank accounts and her Apple account and everything like that. She's been trying to get it worked out for like over a week now, I think. Yeah. And so hold her in prayer. I think everything is going to turn out to be okay, and she won't lose anything financially, but they tried. So Cadence is here because Mom's on the phone with Apple this morning trying to get her cloud stuff back. All right, Cadence, thank you for being here today.
Of course, yeah. So today for our lesson, we started off by reading a book called All I See Is Part of Me, which basically talked about how we are connected with everything, right? We're connected with the sun, the stars, the sky, the trees, the plants, the animals, each other. And we sort of had discussions based on that about why we might be connected to everything. We talked about what God might mean to other people, to us. Yeah, and then we did a bit of a God walk through the garden. You might have seen us walk here. And we collected some things that we might see God in, or might represent God to us, some things from nature. And we glued them onto a paper to create a sort of rough image of what God might look like based on the idea that God is in everything. And we couldn't bring it out here because it's wet, but it is in the classroom if you want to go visit it and take a look.
Anybody want to share? Anybody? Right here?
Okay.
Say your name, sweetie.
I'm Layla, and I chose to get a red thing and some leaves to make it look like a butterfly because I found God as an insect that can fly.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Lila. All right, okay. All right, let's stand as we bless. Wait a second. It's birthday Sunday. If you have a birthday in February, please stand so we can sing to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. And if you are watching online and your birthday's in February, happy birthday to you too. And now let's stand and please bless our kiddos in song. We love you. We bless you. We truly, truly appreciate you. We hope God rise in you. And so it is. Now let us close with the prayer for protection and the peace song together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. Let's sing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You are. You stand in divine power. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.